Alright, in this video we'll be writing is anagram, or the anagram function, to test if two strings are anagrams. Create a new snippet called anagrams, run it, says done. Okay, so it's working. We need a new function, is anagram, let's pass in two strings, return true, because all strings are anagrams. Run it. Okay. Call it is anagram. The simplest. What do we got? Okay, so yeah, okay. So I want a test harness to make sure that everything's right. Okay, so def my assert. I pass in both strings and then the expected value. That way, my assert, I pass in the inputs and then I tell it what I expect. I expect blank string and blank string to be an anagram. But I must write it. Okay, so result equals is anagram s1 s2, and I'm going to test if the result is the same as expected. Then right. Capital P stands for pass. Otherwise, if the expected does not equal the result, then we say fail. Bob, you must import this. P for okay, so the test passed. Of course, because everything is true. Let's write a failing test. What two strings results not an anagram? Let's say A. Those are not. Okay, so it says fail. Okay, so that's good, but I want to be told exactly what. I want to be told exactly what failed. Okay, so what this does is it says we had a past test, but then a failing test. So blank string in A supposed to be false, but it said true, which is exactly correct. All right, so why is blank string not the same as A? Because the length of S1, Python, S1 dot length, no, it's len, S1, does not equal len of S2, turn false. Okay, so if the lengths of the two strings are not the same, then it's not an anagram. Yep. Yeah, make sure they get the parentheses right. Haha, two passing tests. Okay, so what's the same length but not anagrams? I expect that to be false. Ha, good. So B and A supposed to be false, but you got true. Because alright, so we need two frequency tables. Two frequency tables will record how many examples of each letter exist. So how do you do hash map? Dictionary operations. Yeah, dictionary operations in Python are like this. Map 1 equals map 2. Yeah, so that's just a hash map. I need to enumerate every letter in the first string. For letter in S1. Can I get away with that? Sure. If map 1, okay, I want to test if the letter is in map 1. if it's in the map 1, if it's not in map 1, then we're going to add it. Map 1 of letter equals 1. Good. Otherwise, you're going to increment it. Plus 1. Okay, so yeah, that's right. Okay, so now that's the first frequency table. So we're going to do that all over again for the second string. Enumerate each letter in the second string. If the letter is not in the second map, you're going to add it. Otherwise, you're going to increment it. So that creates the two frequency tables. Okay, so now how do we enumerate a hash map in Python? Dictionary operations, enumerate for. Yeah. Oh, that's for key in, well, that's easy. For key in map 1. Super easy. Okay, if it's not in, if key not in map 2, then return false. Okay, so now that only checks if the key from the first map is in the second map, which it must be, and if it's not, then return false. Okay, so once we have it, we can check both sides. We have to say map, check the frequency of both sides. Map 1 of key does not equal map 2 of key. So that's basically saying, are the frequencies of each letter the same for each? The same. Are the frequencies of each letter the same? And if they're not, then return false. Otherwise, if they're all the same, return true. Run it. 3 past tests. Wonderful. And one non-trivial example. Let's do ABC. ABC. Change the first one. DBC. That is not an anagram. 4 past. Yes. Good. Okay. Big example. Dennis. Send is an anagram. Which it is. Let's throw a space in there. Okay, so it's not just checking reverses. Okay, so that is an anagram because the spaces are the yes, good. Okay, so let's check. Okay, if I make any of these, make this a capital I, so that's not an anagram. Alright, what if we do weirdness? Like, that is definitely not an anagram. Yeah, it works so far. Okay, so that's good enough. There it is. Good enough. You could probably collapse these 2 loops into one, but Python is very slow anyway, so it doesn't matter. Oops.